Salutations, spooks, spirits, and specters, and welcome back to more Senran Kagura Burst ReNewal. Where is the scroll? Hibari's taken the super secret ninja art scroll and left, most likely to avenge Yagyu. What's Hebijo up to? As I'm called to the north gate, I see Haruka and a Hanzo shinobi standing there. She must be the one called Hibari. She's huddled next to Haruka, cringing like a small animal. Haruka holds out the super secret ninja art scroll. I finally have the scroll in my hands.
Haruka, その女、人形にするのか?
I glance at Hibari.
そうしようと思ったんだけど、この子、急にヘビ女に転校したいって言い出してさ。
She had her scroll stolen, and now she wants to transfer here. I bet there's a reason for that. She most likely wants to infiltrate our school and steal it back.
お前は本当に転校したいのか?
I glare at Hibari. She gulps.
転校します。もう半蔵学院には戻れませんから。
そうか。では今からお前は私たちの仲間だ。
She looks somehow disappointed at that.
どうした?
どうしたって、ひばりを疑わないの？
疑うって何を？今まで敵だったものを簡単に受け入れすぎる。そう思うのか?
Hibari gives me a small nod.
やはり善というのは窮屈で差別的だ。正しいものしか受け入れることができない。
Hibari stares at me right in the face as I go on explaining.
しかし、悪は善よりも寛容だ。どんな人間でも受け入れることができる。
Haruka nods along.
それが善人と悪人の違いだ。
もしひばりが裏切ったらどうするの?
Hibari still looks confused.
超秘伝忍法書を取り返すつもりか?
My words make her eyebrows go up a little. She's still a novice. She can't hide how nervous she is.
やれるものならやってみるがいい。それでも私たちは来るものを拒まない。
Someone has to carry out all the necessary evil in the world. If there were only good shinobi, who would do the dirty work? Life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. Without outlaws, there'd be no society. I place the super secret ninja art scroll in my cleavage and walk away toward the castle keep. I have to look over the paperwork for the new students today. It's part of my duty as shinobi student leader, and yeah, it's as tedious as it sounds. My room is on the top floor of the castle keep. There's a stack of admission documents a mile high sitting on the bookrest inside. I sigh and resume checking them over, one by one. Those who weren't accepted to good shinobi schools, dropouts, students who come from evil shinobi backgrounds, everyday hooligans. All the usual suspects. Hebijo scouts network all across the country and secretly headhunt these types. I press the Homura stamp in the pass column for every last one of them. No one gets turned away from Hebijo. That's why this work is so mindless. I halt in mid-stamp. This one's picture gives me an odd feeling.
この顔どこかで
When I look at this girl's face, I start feeling sick, and I don't know why. I look at the entry under reason for application. There's a girl I want to kill. My brother was assigned to assassinate her, but she crushed him. I will never forgive that bitch. I will tear her limb from bloody limb if it's the last thing I do. I feel like I've just been hit in the face. Could she be? A whole flood of memories comes rushing back to me. It's funny to think about, but I haven't always been an evil shinobi. I actually come from a long line of good shinobi. I'd been in cram school since first grade so that I could enroll in a top shinobi school. I was in middle school when the incident happened. Through the school, I had a personal tutor named Komichi. He was an active university student and a very kind man. If I ever made a mistake, he was always quick with a smile and a gentle correction, and my grades soared as a result. My parents expected nothing short of perfection from me. My day-to-day life was heavily regimented, and I lived in a constant stress-induced haze. My time with Komichi was like an oasis from all that. He'd listen patiently to all my complaining, and took me out to relax when I'd start to get frustrated. It might sound corny now, but in all honesty, he was my rock back then. Truth be told, I had feelings for him. Maybe it was the whole first love thing. When I was in 8th grade, he asked me about my future.
私の家は特別な家で、私は家業を継がなければならない。
The business was being shinobi, but I couldn't tell him that. Of course, I couldn't say I was applying to a shinobi school either. As soon as I finished that sentence, he gave me a worried look.
君の成績ならかなり上の高校を狙える。それなのにどうして?
No matter how I tried to change the subject, he wouldn't drop it.
君が高校に行きたいのなら、僕が両親を説得してもいい。
I was glad he was so serious about it. At the same time, I knew I couldn't convince him to let it go. Not by lying to him.
このことは誰にも言わないでください。
I believed in Komichi. If anyone could keep my secret, it had to be him.
私の家は忍びの一族なんです。
His eyes went as round as dinner plates. And why wouldn't they? No normal person would believe shinobi still exist in this day and age.
信じるも信じないも先生の自由ですが。
いや、信じるよ。もう少し詳しく話してくれないか?
I was so happy that he believed me. I told him all about my family. He listened in silence.
そうか。
He muttered when I'd finished talking.
ようやく尻尾を掴んだよ。
All kindness disappeared from his face. A camouflage barrier rose up around us.
死ね！
Komichi whipped out a kunai and lunged at me. I dodged it by a hair. I couldn't grasp what was happening.
先生、どうして？
決まっているだろう。僕が悪人だからだ。
And he had a mission to wipe out my family. He continued to swing the kunai. I'd had just enough martial arts training by that point to keep myself alive from moment to moment. Even so, he had me backed into a corner in no time. He advanced on me with a smile.
私の命を狙うのなら、どうして優しくしたの？
あの一族の娘かどうか確信がなかったからな。
That's it? That's the only reason he'd treated me so kindly?
だったら、拷問でもして聞き出せばよかったじゃない。
He'd been playing all a long, slow game, and I had to know why.
拷問？ダメダメ。信用させてから裏切るのがいいんだよ。
His face had twisted into an ugly snarl. There was no sign of the person I'd trusted. It hurt so much, I couldn't help but cry.
そうそう、それそれ。
He clapped in what must have been pure joy.
僕はね、そういう顔を見たかったんだ。
I bit my lip, hard enough to draw blood. I'd been stupid enough to open my heart to this man. So stupid.
しかし傑作だよ。
He laughed, tasting the tip of the kunai.
もしかして君、僕のことが好きだったとか？
That was when something inside me snapped.
バカにするな！
That's where my memory gets foggy. All I remember is Komichi's face covered in blood. He may have been an evil shinobi, but I wasn't a shinobi at all yet. Just a regular middle school student. Good shinobi schools don't accept criminals, regardless of the circumstances. I would never be a good shinobi. That path closed to me that day. My parents were ashamed of me, infuriated. No matter how I tried to explain things to them, they were having none of it. They disowned me. I was left to the streets. I'd been betrayed by a man I trusted and abandoned by my parents. I wandered the city aimlessly, utterly alone. Being completely unwanted and unneeded by anyone is an awful lot like being dead. To be honest, that's how I felt. I must have looked like some wandering ghost shambling all over the place.
ようやく見つけた。あなたね、小道を半殺しにしたのは。
An unknown woman called to me from a back alley.
だったら何？
I replied, annoyed. She showed me a brochure for a newly built shinobi school.
ヘビ女子学園。
It was a school for training evil shinobi. Evil, but still shinobi. I still had my childhood dreams of becoming a shinobi, and couldn't throw away this last chance to make them come true. I signed the application where she showed me. They put a burlap sack over my head and took me someplace dark. When they pulled the bag off, I found myself in an interview room. There, I saw a politician I recognized from TV.
私をこの学校に入れてくれるのか?
At my frankness, he tilted his head.
なぜそんなことを聞く?
私はあんたたちの仲間小道って男を半殺しにしたからだ。
He gave me a very cool smile.
過去など関係ない。ヘビジョはどんな人間でも受け入れる。
The politician pressed his stamp on my entry application. I'd made it.
知っているかね。悪は善よりも寛容なんだ。
My mentor betrayed me. My parents abandoned me. I thought I was worthless, better off dead. Yet Hebijo still took me in. And so I was reborn as Homura, the evil shinobi. Most don't bother to recognize the truth. The truth that good discards some people. That evil saves some people. I study the photo on the application. Yes, no doubt about it. This is Komichi's little sister. The little sister who apparently wants to kill me. Maybe she doesn't know that I'm at Hebijo.
学校であったら殺し合いになるかもな。
I press my seal on her application. Hebijo accepts anyone. Even someone who wants you dead. I begin to laugh without realizing it. Well, at least this'll be interesting. My school life is going to get that much more exciting. The evil shinobi life is the greatest. When the people I loved most cast me aside, my heart stopped beating. But when I'm in the heat of battle, I still feel alive. That's how it is. If I'm not fighting as a shinobi, I'm no better than a corpse. I finish stamping the forms and take out the super secret ninja art scroll. Let's see just what this thing can do. Obviously, I'll be targeting Hanzo Academy. Not only was their scroll stolen, but they're going to be crushed by the very power they lost. I'd love to see the look on Asuka's face. I can't help picturing it. I can't stop myself from laughing uproariously.
ねえカツネ、ひばりちゃんのことを見なかった？
いや、見てないぜ。
そう。いや、なんか心配で、ヤニューちゃんのことで責任を感じてたみたいだから。
ひばりのことなら心配無用だ。
ホムラちゃん？
お前何しに来た？それに心配無用ってどういう意味だ？
ひばりはヘビジョの生徒になった。そういうことだ。
何を言ってるの？
ひばりはヘビジョに転校した。だからお前たちのところにはもう帰ってこない。
ひばりちゃんが半蔵学院を辞めるわけがない。変な嘘をつかないで。
私は嘘などついていない。
そんなの絶対に信じない。嘘だって言ったら嘘だ。
まあいい。あくまで私が嘘をついているというのなら、力ずくで本当のことを言わせればいい。簡単だろ。
みんな下がってて。ホムラちゃんの相手は私がやる。アスカ舞い忍びます。
ホムラ舞順次よ。
いざ尋常に舞い散れ。
いきます。忍び天地。
忍び転身。まだまだ薄っぺらいんだよ。甘いぞ。
くらえ。
薄い。
一気に片付ける。いくよ。2頭よしてやる。
甘いぞ。
危ない。くらえ。やっくらえ。
甘いぞ。
これで
まだまだ薄っぺらいんだよ。薄っぺら。この攻撃さっさと倒して
まだまだ
肉を食いに行く。
まだまだくらえ。手だれ咲き。
甘いぞ。
チェスト。これでどうだ。
潰してやる。
いくよ。これでどうだ。
最高だ。
これでどうだ。
甘いぞ。
いくよ。
潰してやる。
いただき。
薄く
くらえ。
最高だ。甘いぞ。
くしょ決着。まだまだ。よし。大したことなかったね。さあ本当のことを話して。ひばりちゃんはどこにいるの。
その答えはこれだ。
それは超秘伝忍法書。
これはヒバリがヘビジョに持ってきたものだ。
嘘よ。そんな。
信じたくなければ信じなくてもいい。しかしこいつの力は嘘でも何でもない。素晴らしい。これが超秘伝忍法書の力か。体中に力がみなぎってくる。今ならどんな忍術でも使えそうだ。どうしたアスカ、体が震えているぞ。もういい。しらけたよ。アリを踏みつぶしたところで大して面白くもない。超秘伝忍法書を奪った以上、お前たちに興味はなくなった。さらばだ。
ホムラちゃん待って。ヒバリちゃんはどこにいるの？どうしてこんなことに。自分でも信じられない評価です。おかえり。
And with that, I will end it here. So thank you all very much for watching, and ciao for now. Ciao for now.